Welcome back, everyone. It has been 4 months since the Camp Fire raged through Northern California, and unfortunately, many animals are still separated from their families. So here with one organization working tirelessly to help reunite them is Larissa. You just don't stop, Larissa.
No, I don't. Rescue never stops. I've said that a few times. You know, when the Camp Fire hit, we dealt with the Woolsey Fire down in Southern California. Up in Northern California, it was the Camp Fire. And people had to flee.
Look at that.
So it was horrific. I mean, the deadliest in the history of California. People had to flee so fast they could barely take a bag, let alone their dogs and cats. Now, the ones, many did, but then they had a hard time finding hotels or human shelters that would allow their animals in as well. And oftentimes when it comes to cats, they've already fled. They've gone. Spooked. Yes, they get spooked, they run away, and the last thing most people can do, especially if you have kids and other animals that you're dealing with, is go looking for your cat. So unfortunately, a lot of them got separated, and thank goodness for a wonderful organization called Alley Cat Allies, located in Bethesda, Maryland, but across the country. They do a ton of work. They stepped in and they set up a location for all the cats to go to. It was a facility, helped with lodging, helped with medical care, helped with supplies, and it's still up and running. And they have reunited so many pet parents with their animals. Unfortunately, there's still a lot to still get through, but one such story is a cat named Hunter who was missing for 62 days, not thought to still be alive. And I want to show you the video of the moment the parents of Hunter finally saw Hunter again. Take a look.
The family reached out to me in the early days of the fire and asked me to help them try to find their cats that had been displaced during the fire. I made a decision to go back to that address and placed my food station out, and then I set the camera up. The next morning, I was astounded to see this cat on the camera. He had not been seen in 62 days. And I immediately called the family, and we made an agreement to meet here at the recovery center.
So many people underestimate the love between a cat and its owners. And right there in that video you saw it is pretty...
For 62 days, that kitty cat kept going back and going back, looking for its owners.
It's gut-wrenching.
Goodness, it really is. But how beautiful that is to see that reunion. Well, joining us now is Becky Robinson, the president of Alley Cat Allies, who makes these reunions possible from Bethesda, Maryland. Hi, Becky. How are you?
Hi, thanks for having us on to cover the work we're doing in California to help the Camp Fire cats.
You're doing amazing work. Thank you for all the work you're doing. Now, that moment when you see the pet parents and their cats reunited must be amazing.
Well, it is. We're speechless because people have lost everything, and they're living with friends, they're sleeping on sofas, and yet they don't even know, some of them, that their cats may have survived. And so they come back and they search for them. And, you know, being reunited, it brings up all the emotions. It's joyous, it's sad, there's no words to describe it. And so, you know, but we really feel like if you have companion animals, you have a family member, and we think that these people now can start to rebuild their lives now that they have one of their family members back.
Yeah, isn't that the truth? It's true. They're family members.
Yeah, you're missing a limb.
Oh, gosh, I can't imagine. Now, disaster response is only one part of your mission. It wasn't always something that you all did. How did you specifically become involved in this?
Well, we started in 1990 in response to a need for information and programs to help cats, particularly outside cats, community cats who are unowned. So we started educational outreach and recruiting veterinarians for spay-neuter clinics. And, you know, advocacy is really at the heart of our work. So we work on ordinances for cats and policies for cats all over the world. But cats are so misunderstood. And after there were several disasters, particularly one of the worst, Hurricane Katrina in Louisiana, people called us asking for assistance. And it was devastating. You know, the hurricane was devastating to people and animals alike. And when first responders go in, they're not always equipped to help with cats, and they don't always understand cats. And so we thought we could add something to disaster relief that maybe is missing, and that was really what when our disaster relief program was born.
And you've done such an amazing job. I mean, it's true. Larissa and I were saying that. I mean, getting a dog to come with you is a lot easier than trying to capture a cat and get a cat to come with you. It's just, it's a whole different ball game.
It is.
It's not the same. So we just saw a hunter's reunion, but like you said, there's so many cats out there still waiting to find their families. Isn't that right?
That's right. There's, after we responded in November, and there were a lot of groups on the ground, and the evacuation shelters for animals were full, and it just, the need was so apparent, it kept growing. So by mid-December, we decided that we would respond to fill this capacity in some form by opening up the Alley Cat Allies Recovery Center on December 22nd in downtown Marysville. And now it's open 7 days a week. People are still coming and looking for their cat. And, 500 cats so far have been brought out of Paradise. And the first thing that we do is we check them to see if they need medical care. And then we scan them for a microchip, which some of them actually do have. And we wish that more cats had microchips, because that is their ticket home. That we can reuniting a cat with their family within minutes if they have a microchip. And then they rest and they recover, and we catalog them. We make sure that we take a picture and that it's posted on websites, and we start searching on social media to find their family.
I was just going to ask you, and you touched on it, the microchipping and being prepared now in case of an emergency, because you don't want to start doing it when there's an emergency.
And you don't know an emergency is going to happen.
Exactly. So thank you for touching upon the fact that microchipping saves lives, and it would make your life and, of course, the cat's life so much easier as well.
That's exactly right. We think that preparing for a disaster shouldn't be something you put off, because you never know when a disaster is going to strike. And so you got to get organized. You've got to get a carrier. You have to have the food dishes, the medication, the medical records, all of those things ready to go where every family member knows where they are. So when you evacuate your family, you evacuate all your family members, including the animals. But I can't say it enough, microchip, 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 because that is inexpensive. It's painless, and you can register the cat wherever you move. We have all of this information and more on our website at alleycat.org, so we want to make it easy for people.
And Becky, thank you so much for all the work you do, and make sure your microchip's up to date.
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
And can I just say, I love the picture of the cat stamp behind you. That's the cutest thing I ever saw.
I do too. Thank you,
Becky. If you or a loved one lost a cat in the campfire, or to find out how you can help, you can visit alleycat.org.
Still to come on Home and Family, ditch the diapers with Allie's brilliant potty training tips.
You got to get them to that potty as fast as possible.
Plus how one ordinary mirror can be transformed 4 different ways.